It's that time of the strong again, not the time of or for the weak. A show that reports on Loop News, not creates it, where we deliver more hammers, truth, and common sense. Oh my God, Thomas, not common sense again? Indeed. In a show that is a solution and teaching based show that makes people think and ponder. Oh my God, he's going to make me think as well. Blasphemy, they say. Indeed I am, is my response. Today's date is the 20th of January. My name's Thomas Williams, and this is the Truth, Honour and Integrity Show. Enjoy the show. What's so civil about war anyway? I hope you get a chance to read the lyrics to that song, because it tells you everything that's gone on. But I want to focus first tonight on one verse from that piece. Look at the shoes you're filling. Look at the blood we're spilling. Look at the world we're killing, the way we've always done before. That's why we have to think and act different. Look in the doubt we've wallowed. Look at the leaders we've followed. Look at the lies we've swallowed. And we don't want to hear it no more. Our hands are not tied. A Gettysburg speech by President Lincoln said this: 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged, he said, in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. In reality land, it wasn't a new nation. It was never conceived in liberty, and no men have ever been equal on this land or any other land, because the old system never allowed it. We are in a civil war now, the final test for this nation, and the dedicated are just the few. But how many will endure is the great question. A famous American speech, and yet has anything changed in this country over any time period? This country has always been divided, largely by fake political parties appearing to represent two separate ideologies, but in reality they represent just one front against the people. And yes, some may have appeared to step forward like JFK, but the harsh truth is, he was another of the clown groups representing the families and the factions. Trump, like Obama, presented themselves as different and spoke of change. But change only came as a result of more stringent and harsher measures against we the people. The black people waited for years for recognition, and finally they thought they had one of their own in the office. Obama spent 8 years in office, and yet he did nothing for the black people. The government then went multicultural, and in came more minorities and females. Did that help the people? Of course not. Because the policies were still being dictated by the Israeli junta and their army of elites is why. You see, people and personalities matters not in their world. And the people have to understand that. It's not the people in place, but the programs running against us all. That creates the discord, but more importantly, the disconnect. This and all other countries have been badly run from day one, forged by war, greed and egos. No country has ever had peace due to land and resources grabs by the same elites who couldn't organise a piss-up in a brewery. They have no plans. Their plans are based on greed and power and win at all costs. Do they care whether it was 150,000 or 6 million Jews? 20 to 50 million Chinese, 70 to 90 million Russians, 80,000 Allied pilots who all died in World War II? The answer is an emphatic no. 1 year on from Biden taking the reins, where he promised bringing America together, uniting our people and uniting our nation. That is what he said a year ago. What a sick and twisted joke that is, because the laugh was on us. An incoherent, incompetent buffoon that has made Trump look somewhat normal, when he is an egotistical game show host who was placed there at the behest of the Israeli junta to destroy more of America from within. Look at how they've ran the COVID scam, a mishmash of Ouroboros policies, the usual threatening of the public, which should have brought total condemnation by its people. Instead, a majority of them showed just how weak and pathetic they were, and they complied despite great cost to themselves. Draconian measures on the people. Draconian indeed, and is indicative. Where the people became more divided than ever, children placed in abject fear, walking like automatons to, in and from school, covering their faces like latter-day bandits. People have lost their jobs, homes and businesses, and now we have a vast wasteland of boarded-up shops, crumbling infrastructure and much more to follow. But let's not forget, amongst all of this chaos, the politicians, the decision makers, the think tanks, and the treasonous top brass at the military and agency clowns, all the pathetic media mouthpieces, all got paid. And their lives never changed one iota. The greed-based money peoples made $1.7 trillion of improvements to their already obscene wealth at our expense. And what else did the people get for their failed policies? 9% inflation on their food, leaving many to go without or reduced intake. And this is the legacy of the ending COVID scam. And we face testing times for a very long time if we continue with the same clowns and the same programs. It won't be fixed. In fact, the reality is, it can't be fixed. And it is time we had a new, radical way formed by the people. With fresh ideas that is all-inclusive, with progressive ideas to build for a future, with common-sense solutions that will benefit the all. It is not rocket science once you remove the lobbyists and the greed-based harvesters from the playing field, the childlike war mentality from generals and agency goons, the Crown and all of their subsidiaries, and the spineless media personnel in both the mainstream media and also the alt media, the latter of which is run by agency goons or handlers by and large. To fix it, it requires new input from people with no vested interest for themselves, only a desire to improve all aspects of life in a better way. The old world, some of you doubted some years back, is gone. Hanging on a thread by fear only and people in a false comfort zone. There was nothing comfortable for any of us in that world. And now we are tasked with rebuilding it piece by piece from scratch. And I mean from scratch, because no profession was ever taught the full scope of their jobs, and new ways of operating based on cooperative actions, not ego-based comparative or competitive. Competition should only be from within. The desire to improve the self and those around you. This is what the TBC is for, a teaching course for rebuilding this planet and its people in a better way that is all-inclusive, built in our image, not theirs. Their policies failed on every level, and all with half a brain cell can see that now. Those that don't are the very people that reduce this planet to a kindergarten level and impose tyranny not only on themselves, but the rest of us as well. With radical plans, will and determination, we can rebuild the whole planet piece by piece. In America, we now have an opportunity to build our blueprint for radical change. In some aspects, it's already started. And I'm willing to work with all groups to make it happen. If we don't act soon, the country will rot into a wasteland of broken towns and cities, and more importantly, broken people from sea to shining sea. I'm not here to play their game. I came to change it. That is my ideology, forte and stance. And now I wish for you all to adopt it.